Welcome to the DonorWise Learning Library. This session is on creating a designation. A designation is any contact that receives gifts. It can be a person, such as a staff member or couple, or a student on a project. Or it can be an organization contact, such as a ministry or a project. There are two prerequisites for designations. Number one, the designation must already exist in your list of responsibility centers. And number two, the contact must already be in your contact list. Note that a contact can be a donor and a designation at the same time. If you have a donor who decides to become a staff member of your organization, you do not need to create a new contact for the designation and the gifts that will be received on his or her behalf. You can use the same contact for their donor. Here's an example. Peter Parker is a donor to our ministry, and on the Donations tab, I can see the list of donations that he has given. When he becomes a designation, a staff member in our organization, same contact ID, but there's a list of gifts that were received on his behalf. Okay, some designation rules. Number one, a designation must be assigned to one responsibility center. Any designation can have only one responsibility center. In this example, the contact ID 10174 is a designation, and it's associated with responsibility center 1101. But a single responsibility center can have multiple designations coming in. For example, a summer project might have 3 students who are coming, each with a unique contact ID, so the donor receipts list the name of the student, but all of the funds go into the project account. Number two, a designation must have an assessment scheme, and all donations to the designation must use that same that same assessment scheme. You cannot pick and choose that some contributions will be assessed and others will not. Number three, to inactivate a designation, it must be redirected to an active designation. Okay, let's do a quick example. This is Prince Charming and his wife Cinderella, and they have just joined our organization as a staff member. So I look them up in the contact list, Prince Charming and Cinderella. On the Designation tab is a button that says Make a Designation. And when I press this button, it brings up a new designation box where I can enter all of the pertinent information. There's their name. I select their responsibility center from the drop-down list, 1108. They're automatically assigned to the Staff Contributions General Ledger account that I've set up in the System Setup, although I could change that for other designations if I wanted to. They're assigned to a default assessment scheme, which in this case is the one we apply to staff members. The Global Designation Code is only used if your organization is a multinational organization and they have codes that go from country to country. Most organizations do not use this box. Same with designation type, that's for reporting purposes, and you can set that up in the System Setup. Finally, the ministry tree. This ministry is what part of the ministry are they assigned to. In this case, Prince Charming and Cinderella are assigned to the University of Monaco as campus staff. The ministry tree appears here in the contact list, and by assigning them here, I've automatically put them at their right location in the ministry for reporting purposes. When I click OK, I now see all of that information here on the Designation tab. All of the information that I already put is right here. There's a couple other things I want to point out on this screen real quick. Number one is this redirect designation. When I mentioned that inactivating a designation means pointing it to an active one, that is done at this point. And if I did that, I would select that here, and when I did, all future gifts would be assigned to them. And down here at the bottom is a secure checkbox. Using TNT MPD Data Server, we can have a give site for our organization, but there may be some designations you do not want to appear on that list, either because they are secure, they're working in a location where you do not want that information to be public, or because it's a designation that you don't want donors to give to, perhaps a project that's been closed, or an internal project or internal fund that you don't want to be used and do not want to appear on the give site. Finally, you can unmake your designation as long as gifts have not been received. And if I press this button, unmake this designation, it will go back to the way it was before. So that's how we create a designation. I hope that's helpful to you.